There are cases in which the king has to do battle with two separate pawns. In these cases, a useful rule is the floating square rule, a rule that was first noted by Studenki in 1939. If a square whose corners are occupied by two pawns reaches the edge of the board, then one of those two pawns must queen. If the square does not reach the edge of the board, then the king can hold the pawns. If there are two files between the pawns, the king can capture both. If the distance is greater, the king can only hold them off. Now we have a puzzle, and our square, conventional square, reaches the edge of the board. I'm going to take the tokens away, and doesn't matter who's to move. Let's say black will push the pawn, white goes after the pawn, then we push on e4, and if white is taking, he can no longer reach the e pawn, which will convert. Now let's shift the pawns to a6 and e6. In this case, the pawn square reaches the second rank, so he doesn't manage to reach the two of the edges of the board. He only reaches the queenside edge. In this case, the king will manage to hold off the black pawns. And we have two scenarios for you. If white is pushing a5, king to b5, we push, we take, and then the white king is managing to reach the e-file pawn. If black will decide to move king to f6, then we move king to c6. And then black has to stay covering the two pawns, and then we repeat the move. And we wait for black to push one of the pawns. Otherwise, he's repeating the move 3 times and it will be a draw.